It is the weather. That's our top story this morning, and joining us live now is the New South Wales Deputy Premier, Prue. Prue, good to see you. Thanks for your time this morning. We will start there before we get to the budget. What concerns do you have about the hot day ahead for our fireys?
Yeah, it's certainly very warm across the state pretty much, and I think the wind is pretty concerning for the RFS and other authorities at the moment. But of course, we'd encourage everyone at all times to follow the advice of authorities and make sure that everyone stays as safe as possible. We believe that the threat is going to be significantly downgraded on Friday, but at all times the government, and we urge the people of New South Wales to be following the advice of the RFS and others that are watching this very closely. OK,
just as for schools, some of them were closed yesterday or remain closed because it was too hot. Is that still the case today?
No, not today. Yesterday there were 20 that were just non-operational, so just closed temporarily for one day around the far south coast. And, you know, we all know, all your viewers know, that's a community that's really suffered in the last couple of years with bushfires based on advice of the RFS. And then during the day, the warning was actually upgraded to catastrophic. We had 2 schools yesterday that were evacuated as well because of a nearby fire, but today it seems that all of our schools are open. It's always a last resort for us to pause schools, to keep them closed for even one day, because we want our kids in classrooms learning from their wonderful teachers. But if the safety is a problem, then we will act on the best advice.
OK, so at the moment, not bad enough to close the schools, but, you know, it's a kind of a wait-and-see approach.
Yeah, I think that's how everyone feels at the moment, just waiting and seeing, and we've all heard the news about El Nino. So we've just want to make sure that we're following the advice of the authorities at all times. Stay as safe as possible, please, everyone. OK, still on education, but related to the budget, Prue, the help for parents with 3-year-olds in daycare, it's been criticised by some experts on this program who say while it will be a definite help to some parents, it still won't address the key issue of staffing. So was that handout misguided? Well, it is a pretty modest handout, and we're definitely not saying it's going to fix all the problems in early education, and particularly those crucial couple of years before school, the pre-K years. And we have committed money in yesterday's budget to workforce, to doing what we can to encourage people into the early childhood education and care workforce. That's, I would argue, a bit of a separate issue. What we've actually committed to yesterday is $500 for every 3-year-old that is in a preschool program in long daycare for the first time ever, just to help a little bit with cost of living. But we definitely are investing in the workforce. We have a shortage of childcare workers, educators and preschool teachers. We definitely do. That's one of our biggest challenges in this space, like the teacher shortage in primary and secondary schools.
No, that's the point those experts were making. You know, would the money have been better off spent towards incentives for teachers and carers rather than parents itself?
Well, we are actually doing both in this budget. We're investing in incentives for workers to train in diplomas and bachelor's degrees, pardon me, as well as giving the handout of $500 to all the families of 3-year-olds. OK, let's stay with teachers. You probably got to go and get yourself a glass of water soon, Prue, but still with the teachers and extra pay that they are going to get, don't want to begrudge that, but do you expect other unions to now seek similar rises? Well, what we've actually done in busting the wages cap and actually instituting a new system where workers can negotiate with the government and getting rid of the arbitrary cap on their wages is that unions and workers via their unions can negotiate with the government, like the teachers have recently done with the state government. That has resulted in the biggest ever pay uplift for teachers in a generation. And, you know, we've all heard what's happened, and the whole idea of that is to get more teachers in the classroom, to actually get to the bottom of why we have a teacher shortage, to improve educational outcomes for all of our kids. Sure.
No, I guess Mark Speakman, he was on the program earlier, and he made the point that, OK, the fireys and the police unions, I mean, they're not going to sit back and see other workers get a pay increase and not get one themselves.
Well, they're going to be negotiating with us. That's what we've put in place, and we will be going through a process of negotiating in good faith with all the public service workers that are critical, that really form the basis of what you saw the Treasurer hand down yesterday in terms of the budget, making sure we're reprioritising state money, taxpayers' money, into the essential services that we all rely on via the workers that are in critical shortage. Like, how can we actually run an education system without enough teachers, run a police system without enough cops? How can we run a hospital system without enough nurses?
Okay, Prue, we're out of time, but we'll leave it there. Appreciate your time.